to hear somebody. We're saying kansho and then hai in response. And so during the kansho, this is a time for us to sit and to prepare ourselves, our minds, and our bodies for the service, the rituals of the service, and also to hear the Dharma. Thank you, everybody. So just a quick courtesy guidelines. So during the service, make sure you put yourself on mute unless you are participating in the service. And this is a self-manage. So we will allow you to turn your audio on or off by yourself. But we do want to see your face, your lovely faces. So please share your video. It's one of the nice benefits of being on Zoom. So today's service, we will have a welcome reading in Nembutsu. We'll recite the Vandana tisarana. I will lead you. And then even if you're on mute, please join me. We will chant Gasho to Amida, a short Dharma message today, and then a recitation of the Golden Chain. We will be accompanied, we have a guitar accompaniment on Ondoku-san 2. We have recitation of our pledge, birthdays, announcements, and then we will close with Nembutsu and Gasho and then break out to classes. So today's reading in Nembutsu, I've decided to select the 6 paramitas. And these 6 paramitas are guidelines, are Buddhist teachings. And so I'm going to read the 6 paramitas, and then if you could just join me, you can be on mute, but just join me in reading the explanation of what the paramita is. So the first paramita is dana, giving. May I be generous and helpful. Sila, guidance. May I be guided by the Buddhist precepts. Precepts are like rules or guidelines for behavior. Kshanti, tolerance. May I regard the mistake of others with sympathy. Virya, perseverance. May I do my best in all things. Dhyana, meditation. May I reflect deeply on my life through the Buddha's teachings. And prajna, insight. May I understand the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangam saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And just a comment, when we do the recitation in Pali, many other schools of Buddhism throughout really the world also recite the Pali version. So if you travel to other countries, mostly like in Asia, you will hear recitation of Vandana tisarana in Pali. Okay, so we are going to do Gasho with Amida. I will start with the slide 1, and then Ava and Zoe has graciously agreed to do slide 2, and then I will close with slide 3. But even if you're on mute, again, please join us in chanting. Namo Amida Butsu. We recite Amida's name with deep joy and gratitude. We gasho with Amida, trees and grasses and flowers grow in wondrous compassion. This light shines throughout the world. We gasho with Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seed sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. We gasho with Amida. Springtime brings the happy birds. Their songs all praise Amida. We join them in Nembutsu. We gasho with Amida.
When we say the Nembutsu, Amida sings with us all. Our voices unite as one. We gasho with Amida. When we're lonely, we recite Namo Amida Butsu. Embraced by Amida's light, we gasho with Amida. Nembutsu in work and play, every day with Amida. Every moment filled with light, we gasho with Amida. Remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. We will follow this teaching. We gasho with Amida.
In the clear, bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night, we gasho with Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. We live in this compassion. This great power guides our lives. We gasho with Amida. Gani shiku せいさいどんぼ大心おじょあんらこ Please join me in Gasho. Namo amida butsu. Namo amida butsu. Namo amida butsu. Namanda butsu. Namanda butsu. Namanda butsu. Thank you, Ava. Okay, so today I'm going to do the Dharma message. And one of the things, as I was listening to Reverend John Turner's everyday, Buddhist, listening to him, it reminded me that the Buddha, Shakyamuni, taught the Dharma through stories. And so in the sutras, there are a lot of stories. And the Buddha was very wise because he understood that there were lots of different kinds of people and people learn in very different ways, right? So some of us learn by reading. We learn better by reading. Some of us learn better when we see something in front of us. And then others of us learn better through listening. And in our practice of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, they say that one of our practices is deep hearing, listening to the Dharma, and listening to the Dharma over and over and over again. So somebody told me, a very wise teacher told me, if you don't get it the first time, and maybe you'll hear a Dharma talk, and then your mom or dad will say, hey, what was that about? And you'll go, I don't know, it was interesting, but I don't remember now. Anybody have any of those experiences? I do all the time. But there are some stories, I think, the Jataka tales. These are Buddhist stories, and there's a book out there by Ellen Babbitt. So you can ask your mom and dad maybe to see if they can borrow the book, excuse me, and read some of the stories to you. But I have found a series by author by the name of Mary Nin, and it's the Ninja series. And I find that these stories, they're very simple, but they're very entertaining. And for me, they're very relevant because my two granddaughters, Riley and Sophie, they call me the Ninja Bachan. And so these are my stories when I get on Zoom with them that I share with them. So I am going to, let's see, change over my screen to share a book. And there's a lot of books, by the way, parents. But, right now, I don't know if you kids have noticed, but it's kind of a very anxious time, isn't it? There's lots of changes happening, COVID certainly, and, things that are happening politically. And you may have noticed that maybe your parents are a little anxious. And so I decided there's a lot of Mary Nin's books. One was Compassionate Ninja, one was Generous Ninja, but lots of different titles. But for today, I want to read this Anxious Ninja, okay? And hopefully there's a Buddhist lesson in here that you can take away. So I'm going to read this. So you can see the different ninjas. So this is about Anxious Ninja. Can you see the book? Yes? Okay, great. Thank you, Flynn. So Anxious Ninja just needed to make it over the hill to win. He ran and ran until he reached the finish line. First place. Positive Ninja came in second and said, you're going to crush it this weekend at the Ninja Warrior race. But that was the problem. When it came to practice, no one could touch Anxious Ninja. He was the best. But when it was time for the actual competition, his hands would get sweaty, his heart would race, and his mind kept thinking about events he couldn't control. When his mind drifted to winning or losing, his performance would start to sink, and his anxiety, his worrying, would cause him to not perform. So here he's thinking, what if I lose? Will everyone think I'm a failure? Greedy Ninja recognized the problem. It's normal to feel anxiety. It's normal to worry. We all do. When I was training for the Ninja Warrior Triathlon, everybody expected me to win. And do you know what happened? Asked Greedy Ninja. I came in fourth because I let my worrying, my anxiety affect my performance. Could I win? Would I win? I was thinking about things I couldn't control. But when I learned how to handle my anxiety, my worries, I performed better than ever before, said Gritty Ninja. How did you learn how to do that? Gritty Ninja says, I'll show you. When you get anxious, just remember the 3 R's method. Recognize, be aware when you are thinking about situations you can't control. Relax by taking a few slow, deep breaths. Refocus with positive mantras like everything will be okay as long as I try my best. And that was one of the paramitas, to try our best in everything we do. That weekend at the competition, Anxious Ninja lined up with the other runners. He had one goal in mind. His focus was at an all-time high, but when the gun blasted, signaling the start of the race, Anxious Ninja felt good. As the race went on, he had a clear lead, but then with only 2 turns of the race to go, his thoughts began to shift to the finish line. And his thoughts were, my mom and dad are going to be so proud of me. But what if I lose? What will they say? Just then he could hear other runners catching up to him. And just like that, he lost his lead. He needed to remember what Gritty Ninja taught him, and fast. What was it his friend said? The 3 R's. Got it. Recognize, relax, and refocus. He recognized and became aware. He started to understand of where his thoughts were. Not good, right? He relaxed by taking several deep breaths. Then he refocused all his energy on now, on the present, and what he could control, his effort. Work hard, he repeated to himself. Work hard. He sounded like a broken record, but this was his mantra. And before he knew it, he cleared the finish line. Hooray! With flying colors. From that day on, the Anxious Ninja, he still experienced anxiety and worry, but the difference was now he knew how to control it instead of letting it control him. Remembering the 3 R's could be your secret weapon against anxiety and worrying. So the 3 R's are recognize that you're worrying, that you're feeling anxious, relax. Taking deep breaths help you to relax. And then refocus. Think about what it is that you're doing or trying to do. So please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So I hope that you were able, let's see, stop share, here we go. I hope that you were able to see the lessons, Buddhist lessons in this. And, the Buddha emphasized that we are what we think, right? So our minds are these very powerful things. And the mind, not that we want to control it necessarily, but we want to become aware, okay, of how our minds are working. So I hope you enjoyed that story. And again, these are books by Mary Nin. Okay, and so next we will have Recitation of the Golden Chain by Juliana and Jaden.
I am a link in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness, but also that of others. May every link in in the Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace.
Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, Juliana and Jaden. And now Mr. Robert is going to accompany us on Ondoku-san 2. So again, leave yourself on mute, and he will play the guitar, and I think he might even have some vocal accompaniment. I'm not sure. So take it away, Mr. Robert.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Robert, and I think Miss Sharon. And now, oh, I should have changed this. It's going to be Cassidy, who leads us in our pledge.
Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words, just like the Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance, I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all.
Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, Cassidy. And now we're going to turn it over to Miss Nancy to share with us the January birthdays, and then she's going to lead us in singing Happy Birthday.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. It's good to see so many of you joining us today. So today I have 2 January birthdays to announce. One has already passed. Finn had his birthday on January 7th. Happy birthday, Finn. And upcoming is Katie. Her birthday will be January 16th. So to all of our birthday people for this month, we give you a shout out and a virtual hug and our kisses. So let's sing Happy Birthday, Dharma Friends. Okay, and sorry, here goes my voice. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dharma friends. Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
Told her that we would do it. Thank you, Miss Nancy. Do we have other announcements? I'm going to stop share now. Do we have other announcements?
I have an announcement. So on January 24th, we're going to have another informal parent check-in meeting at 11:30. So hopefully all parents can join us for that. And that's it. Oh, also too, if you want to invite a family member or temple member to our services, the link that I emailed out to you, you will need to send that Google form, and I'll send it to you again, to them, and they need to fill that out so we know to let them into the service. So again, it's if you have any temple member friends or family members that want to join us for our services, you can go ahead and invite them, and you will need to send them that link. Okay, thank you.
And I want to welcome the Sangha members who joined us today. Miss Katie and Mr. Bill. Do we have any others? I don't see any others. Maybe I'm missing. We have 2 pages of people. Was that it? Okay. So invite your bachans and jichans, grandmas and grandpas, aunties and uncles. We would love to have them join us. Okay, let's see. I will go back to sharing my PowerPoint. So I'm going to close with Nembutsu and Gasho, but I want to thank everybody for attending today's service. I always love seeing all the faces, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Take care, be safe, be grateful, and most of all, be happy, okay? So please join me in Nembutsu and Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Okay, so you're all dismissed. Just don't go running down the halls to your breakout rooms, to your classes.
And I want to thank you, Laverne Sensei, for the great service and your wonderful Dharma talk. Thank you so much.